maybe it's easier for you to switch tabs, or what do you think? I don't know. Cool.
Let's do it.
No. That works well.
Here. Refresh screen to see if we are all connected. Oh, right. And I think I need to. Yeah, I believe we are all connected. Well, that is perfect. Awesome. And hi, everyone. Welcome to the Nimble AI panel. And today our guest speaker is Alec from ORA Protocol. And we also have our Alex, right? Our Nimble's head of marketing over here. And we are going to discuss both our project's latest updates with each other. And we also highly recommend everyone to give both our projects a follow, right? Following ORA Protocol and also following Nimble Network, because there are a lot of things that we could share with everyone. And before we also start, how about let's invite Alec to introduce yourself and introducing ORA Protocol to our audience. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Moonlight. Hi everyone. I'm Alec. I lead partnerships and growth at ORA Protocol. We are a chain agnostic infrastructure providing verifiable AI inference to all blockchains. Right now, we're deployed across 8 of the top L2s and looking to continue expanding. And we bring AI to blockchain ecosystems and then also bring blockchain primitives to AI development. So looking forward to diving into that a bit more later on.
Nice. Thank you so much for the intro. Yes. And how about Alex? Yeah, we have two guest speakers with similar over here. Alex, would you also like to introduce yourself and talk about Nimble as well? Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Hey guys, you all know me by now, the Alex, head of marketing here at Nimble. In for those of you coming from the Aura side and unfamiliar with Nimble, we're basically an open AI platform that targets AI development and making it as easy as possible, right? So that developers can build, they can own the AI agents, and they can monetize them, because that's the biggest point of interest these days. Being able to monetize and having it on chain, and we use the Cosmos SDK to power a Nimble chain, and aim to be interoperable as well in the future. So there's so much to unpack here. That there's this AI notebook that we're launching, so definitely stay tuned. And yeah, we're going to provide so much more details this session. So yeah, Alec, great to have you on board.
Nice. Thank you so much. And Alec, we also know that ORA Protocol has actually behind the invention, right, of a number of open source frameworks. Could you please walk us through these frameworks and let us know what are the most important of these and why are they significant? Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you for a great question. So yes, part of the reason I'm very excited to be part of this team is because we're very R&D focused and have invented a number of frameworks for doing sort of AI on chain and tokenizing AI models. So I think the most significant of those is optimistic machine learning, which sort of provides an alternative for verifying AI inference. Previously, you only really had zero knowledge machine learning and sort of more proof of stake consensus based verification. But we created a way that is sort of sits in the middle with scalability and security. And then we, one of our flagship sort of products and also another permissionless framework creation is the initial model offering, which very similar to Nimble sort of allows tokenization, ownership, co-governance of AI models directly on chain. So that was a combination of a couple different inventions too. The ERC 7007, which is a verifiable AI generated content NFT. And then something new, the ERC 7641, which is a revenue sharing token. So within our sort of initial model offering tokens, there's this native revenue sharing between all token holders and applications of that AI. So yeah, very exciting to be moving and working with the team that moves so quickly and creates new open source permissionless ways to do things. I think that's really how the space as a whole grows, is by building and sharing open source.
Nice. Yeah. And where can we find those frameworks? If you could share your screen or some links, that would be awesome as well. Thank you.
Absolutely. I would say go to ORA.io to learn more, and especially our docs, I think, is the best place to go for developers. So that is docs.ora.io, and that will be the best place to get started integrating AI into your smart contracts to upgrade their decision-making capabilities, and also to learn about how to tokenize and distribute your AI model, whether foundational, you know, a new one you've created or something fine-tuned. So docs.ora.io is probably the best place to go.
I see. Got it. Thank you so much, Alec. And Alex over here. Yeah, we also have been talking about Nimble's AI notebook, right? And do you mind to let us know what it brings to the community or to the Web3 world, given how much anticipated about its launch? Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, the AI notebook is basically the building block for everything AI agent related, right? Basically, with the launch of the AI notebook, we want to make sure there are three things on the table. One, it's easy access to decentralized GPU resources. Then it's seamless model fine tuning, and lastly, it's like effortless AI development. So and deployment per se, right? So you know, once our AI notebook launches, and for those unfamiliar with AI notebooks, because you know we've been talking about this, but I think we realized that maybe not everybody's just as you know as well in tune with what AI notebooks are. They're basically just like these interactive platforms, right? You as a developer come in and you can run and share code in real time, and basically it's for tasks like data analysis. It can be machine learning model development and deployment, and you can kind of experiment, right, with all kinds of AI agent and model building. So with the AI notebook that Nimble brings to the table, you know, there's those three things, right? We want to have kind of a one-line model deployment, right? Your model's ready. You want to have it in production as ready as possible, and then start testing it to see if it's, you know, if it's running according to kind of your expectations as an enterprise, as a company, as a developer per se. So you can do that with like literally one line of code. You push it and it's out. Similar to, you know, those who use GitHub a lot, and you know, I use personally Gitbook to update our docs and information. So it's just like that, you know, more or less. And then it's kind of like this simplified fine-tuning interface, right? What that means is you as a developer can kind of start fine-tuning pre-trained models. Let's say you have a customer service application. You want to build this GPT specifically with this kind of use case in mind, right? Then you use one of our pre-trained models, you add on to it and start fine-tuning, and you know, with the data you bring in, because it's a Python-based interface, with this data, basically you build your own model and you test it and you take it through that AI lifecycle process. all the way from kind of making sure the data is clean and it's like organized as it should be, where it's like historical, where like whatever kind of data you need, through the machine learning operation side of things. So yeah, they're like these three things. And it's also the access to the decentralized GPUs. I think one of the biggest problems with AI per se and building, and I'm going to share my screen right now on this specific topic, is like the entry barriers, right? If you're a startup, let me see, share now, GPU, there we go. Okay. Let me know if you can see it. Cool. So we've just launched this a few days ago. It's battle tested. You can come in and if you're a startup who wants to kind of come in and build significant AI agents, you need a lot of GPU power. And these GPU farms, as they're like an incredibly high cost initially. Right. So what we want to do is we have all the GPU power connected to the Nimble chain and Nimble network per se, and you can come in. So you click on contribute GPUs and distribute GPUs and earn. And even as a GPU provider, you can come in and basically put your GPU to work. Right. So it works for both ways. You either contact us to have access to the decentralized GPU when an AI notebook launches, or if you're a GPU provider, or a company with like massive GPU resources and you want kind of like, have more revenue on the side, then, you come in, you fill out this form, and then our customer service team will be in touch right away to just start onboarding you, and you can provide the resources and you earn Nimble tokens in return. And with that, I think, have we ever shared our recent dashboard update? I don't think we ever did, right?
We haven't done
so
that.
So it kind of looks like this. Look at that. We're like almost 25 million AI transactions complete, which is just crazy. I think I've said this a million times, but 3 months ago, we only had 3, or 2 months ago to be more precise. And we're almost, over 10 million Nimble tokens distributed so far. And what's cool, you can go on the map and see exactly how many GPUs. So we're in the US, you got 3,000, close to 3,300 GPUs, right? If you go to Saudi Arabia, it's like 1,500. There are GPUs in Venezuela, like 1,200. Even in Indonesia or Timor-Leste, there's everywhere, right? So this is a little floating device, and you can kind of come in and kind of just make sure that everything's up to speed, even as a GPU provider, right? Yeah. So this is a brief intro to the AI notebook and what it brings to the table.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing the data with us and also the chart. And everyone, be sure to go to Nimble's official website and take a look by yourself. It's so much fun and really easy to find us, nimble.technology and then /GPU. Okay, once again, it's nimble.technology and /GPU. So let's go back to Alec from ORA Protocol. What is verifiability of decentralized AI? Why is it so important? And what are the different approaches that ORA is taking? Thank you.
Thank you so much. What a great question. And super excited to see the Nimble dashboard, Alex. Definitely go check that out if you're listening. But yeah, so I guess to put it simply, verifiable AI inference is sort of providing a proof or check or transparency system for the outputs of an AI model, particularly if you have decentralized systems, which are good and we're working towards for many reasons, efficiency, accessibility, etc. You want to be able to cryptographically ensure that a result you're getting from across the world is the result you asked for, right? And so it's really to prevent any manipulation and really stay in line with those sort of core blockchain values. I think what we're seeing more and more is that with agents, there's been this recent craze around agents. If you're eventually going to have agent-to-agent interactions and services, how is an agent meant to trust a sort of separate entity's agent, right? You need some kind of cryptographic verifiability for the results or the information they're exchanging. for that trust. And then also, I think the other main area is really in any distribution of assets. Distribution or creation of assets, there's also been this sort of concern that some of these agent protocols aren't actually creating tokens using their AI as just inspiration. There's concern that it's sort of humans creating tokens and then using this front of the AI, right? So with that verifiability, anyone can go and check that X token was linked to the original thought of an AI model. And I think that's really important. We get into some interesting nuances with the different approaches. As I sort of mentioned, you have zero knowledge, which is really that rock, solid, sort of slow, but extremely secure approach. We have optimistic in the middle, which is very similar to an optimistic rollup. And then we have sort of more eigenlayer-esque sort of approaches where they're using the shared security of economic stake to ensure that verification. But yeah, verifiability allowed us to really create that tokenization of AI. It's really just the link of a model to another asset or an action. Yeah.
That is nice. Thank you for sharing with us. And if you have any screen or web pages that you wanted to show our audience, feel free to do that as well. Thank you. And let's
Absolutely.
go. Thank you. And let's go over to Alex over here. Yeah, because today I believe each of you we have prepared 3 questions for you to showcase your project so our audience can learn more about your project. And we'd like to talk about with Alex from Nimble. What are some applications of AI agent that developers can build with Nimble for the GameFi sector? Thank you.
Yeah. So I know last time we talked about SocialFi and how that AI agents can help with moderation, with flagging content, like not that shouldn't be on the platform or in any SocialFi platform, and now kind of diving into gaming and Web3 gaming per se. And there is a ton of applications out there. I've actually written like a little piece for developers to gain inspiration on this. So make sure to check it out once it's out. We'll definitely announce it. But I think there are like over 5-6 applications that come off the top of my head. One is definitely these dynamic non-player characters, NPCs in short. So if you ever played Minecraft, if you ever played sometimes the Warcraft version, not World of Warcraft, but the Warcraft version of that, we're talking 20 years ago. Basically, it was kind of lonely at some point, right? You're kind of walking with your character, and even in Minecraft, when you're doing your own building by yourself. So it'd be nice to have a non-player character that has your back, right? Not necessarily you're in competition with, that kind of like walks with you, maybe chats in real time. So you have this less static gaming experience. That's one that's clear in terms of AI agent application. Then it's things like a player to earn optimization, right? So you can have an AI agent that kind of optimizes your gameplay and kind of runs at the same time as you're gaming. You're on there for hours and hours and kind of looks through history and sees, okay, look, let's optimize your strategy this way. If it's a Web3 gaming project, then you can even analyze market trends to indicate what loots to get in terms of, okay, what in-game assets should we aim for to earn through our quests or through our actions in the game, right? And this way, you're not only like you get the coolest assets, but then maybe the AI agent can even advise you, okay, when to sell or what to sell first to best optimize your character to build up as well as possible. So this is the second run, right? This player to earn optimization. It can also be like in-game AI companions, right? It can be like a real-time advisor. It can offer you tips and feedbacks. Maybe they can watch other players, or they've watched. It's kind of like when you're playing basketball, when you watch a lot of videos on other players and how they actually react and what their weaknesses are, or like what their strategy is. This way you can have these AI companions that can advise you similarly, like, hey, the top 10 players use this kind of strategy. Why don't we kind of play this way? And maybe our success rate is higher. Not to mention, if you're in a game that you want to make money out of, the agent can actually monitor the market trends and say, hey, what game would be best to play right now given the market trend? I remember we had the Black Myth Wukong, right? It's not a Web3 game, but imagine putting that on chain, and there's so much hype, then all of a sudden be like, hey, I know you're a racing fan, but you have a lot of Counter-Strike experience or whatnot, or Assassin's Creed. I think this could be a game that could be, still up your alley, and then let's make some cash right now, or get some cool assets. So that's that. And then I think last one, there's definitely a lot more, but I would maybe look at game moderation, right? Maybe like these anti-cheat systems. Right. I remember when I was playing GTA, the 4 and 5. There are a lot of cheat codes you can add into the game. Not the online versions, but the offline one. So AI agents in an online, like on-chain environment, they can actually kind of snipe that cheating behavior, and then it's like our GPU miners, right? If you have a perceived like malicious behavior towards mining, then you get slashed, right? Your tokens get slashed. So I'm thinking of a similar scenario where it's like a point or token system for you being online and being in the game there. Then if you're misbehaving, there might be some repercussions that AI agents can actually figure out in real time. So yeah, these kind of things. To summarize, kind of like in the game economy side of things, the AI as an AI companion, being a dynamic NPC, and kind of do some game moderation and anti-cheating systems, as well as player torrent optimization. So yeah, lots.
Yeah, thank you so much, Alex, for all the information with us regarding how developers, right, they could use those agents to grow the GameFi sector. And let's come back to Alex from ORA Protocol. We would like to learn about what is the initial model offering, or IMO. Thank you.
Yes, and I feel you on those use cases, Alex. You've just been reminding me of what I've been thinking about for the last 6 months or so. Could always go on forever because there's so many exciting things that you can do with agents and AI on chain. But yes, so the initial model offering is that sort of tokenization mechanism for AI models that I mentioned before. Our original sort of mission for developing that was, we noticed that there was really a lot of misaligned incentives with AI development. We personally believe that open source AI will, the open source development of the internet demonstrated that it led to more rapid growth and adoption, more accessible technology, and therefore more value creation across the world, more even distribution of that value. And we believe that open source AI development will lead to the same. Let alone sort of making AI perhaps more aligned, as many AI researchers fear the worst with AI development. I think getting it in the hands of more people, more developers who can contribute, sort of makes sense that it would be more aligned with all of humanity rather than perhaps a small group. So we really built this as a way to sort of solve the cold start problem. It's very difficult for teams building open source AI models to raise capital to go on and sort of make that a fundamental piece of a company. And so we sort of brought in the IMO as a sort of new ICO type wave, giving teams access to resources from the global networks that are blockchains. But most of all, we wanted to create a way for open source ecosystems to have this sort of flywheel effect, right? Ethereum and other sort of blockchains really blew up and grew because they have both a value mechanism tied to sort of this open, anyone can build, anyone can improve, anyone can share infrastructure set up, and we want to bring the same thing to AI so that anyone can have access to these open source models, fine tune them to their specific needs, and then anyone has the ability to monetize and govern those models. And with a token, you have sort of now an asset for continued incentivization of contribution, and sort of our IMO, or our version of tokenizing AI, right? And I'm sure there are many different approaches, has this intrinsic revenue sharing, right? So you sort of get the benefits of both the fees generated from any applications of the AI's use on chain. So for example, as an NPC in a project, in addition to sort of the more speculative sort of asset value appreciation as the model is improved and increasingly benchmarked by more people, more contributors. That attracts more people, more contributors, sort of powered by speculation. But you have two sides to that: the sort of how good is the model, and that sort of contributes to token value, and then also the fees generated. So yeah, we're bullish on open source decentralization, and just want to
hold on one second. I think my
improve.
computer has some problems right now. Oh my
That's
goodness.
okay.
It keeps turning all the volume off for some reasons. But anyways, Alex, we have our one last question for you. And can you hear my volume okay? Is my sound?
Yeah,
we can hear you great.
Okay, yeah, but okay, from my
works just
headset,
fine, yeah.
when I hear you guys, like, it's completely muted because my computer is acting out right now. It just keeps turning the volume off. But anyways, Alex, we have our very last question for you. Okay, yeah, because we definitely will wanted to get to learn more about some updates from Nimble's side as well, right? So here we go. The last question, okay, that we wanted to cover is, you mentioned previously, you mentioned GameFi space, right? How about DeFi? How could people with the DeFi dealers, right, have some use Nimble, build with Nimble for the DeFi sector? Thank you.
Yeah, with DeFi, I mean, I think this is a two-part question. Which we can dive into the next AI panel and like do more, because I don't want to talk for 10 minutes. But I can think of like one, exactly what Alec mentioned. This is one use case actually I'm gonna add to like an article I've also wrote on the topic. I've also written. Just because I haven't thought about the idea of IMO. I think with Nimble, we're definitely thinking of a similar way. Well, not for raising capital, but so you'd have the API lying on chain, on the Nimble chain of an AI agent, and then people would connect to that API and start monetizing. Well, the developer start monetizing, but the enterprise would gain access in exchange for a fee. So the IMO is interesting right now because I mean, ICOs, then it was called IDOs, and then PGs, and I think IMOs are the way to go next year or so. So it does make sense in the DeFi ecosystem. This is like probably like prime use case. Then what I definitely see, and I wanted to talk about, praise for the last month or so, and even like more detailed in the last week or so, with Ethernet, right? That AI agent on the in the social fi sector that now, for example, is doing pretty much even DeFi and operational work. So things like it clearly posts on a daily basis. It has a huge following. That's fine. That's the most social side. But then it issues bounties. Let's say I think it issued a bounty to one of the biggest influencers in Farcaster about how about like a cool AI generated image that would kind of describe the activity of the AI agent, something like that, right? So this is also part of the DeFi ecosystem, like releasing bounties as well. But more than that, it can be things like and then doing the payment right away. There are these pay bots that the agents can kind of use, or use this one Ethernet uses Marvin as a way to actually issue the payment for that bounty. even crazier, somebody said, hey, for tax purposes, I don't want these tokens right now. Can you actually credit the value and remember it? Which I thought was like incredible. So Ethernet was like, absolutely, I can tell Marvin to like keep a log of how many tokens you earn in the future through other bounties and have it as a credit. So whenever you want it, Marvin can send it to you. So I thought that was hilarious. I mean, it's really cool. And I think this is something that we were just talking about last February to March or April as a concept. So seeing that in full action right now, it's just mind blowing. And then it's things like yield farming optimization. Imagine your yield farmer. This is probably like the OG way to interact with DeFi, right? And that's how people earn millions or lost millions or lost everything in the last bull run. With you coming into an ecosystem, farming a new token, that token pumps 1,000,000%, and then you kind of get out in the first month or two, depending how lucky you are, you make some cash, and then you do this again with a new protocol. So in this case, with yield farming, you can have agents that can kind of analyze DeFi protocols that are coming up, so it can be even faster. And then do like rebalancing positions for you, right? So you get the best yields. So instead of you being online all like 24/7, just trying to figure out what's going on, what's the next best goose to lay your eggs with, then an agent can do that for you. Not to mention that Coinbase just announced that you can now customize AI agents for trading. It's live, it's there, and I think it's going to be crazy. Like this Christmas season, there's going to be a lot bigger gifts than anticipated because people don't need to stay on chain and just they have to kind of, I think, allow access to agents to kind of use their wallets and do that on behalf of them. But that to me has been something that I personally don't want to figure out how to bridge to a new network that's pretty popular, and maybe the bridging system is not as convenient, right? So having an agent figure it out for me, do that for me, awesome. And then use the funds to, hopefully make more funds. That's pretty much it in terms of DeFi. I'll dive into even more because it's a really long list. But yeah, that's how I see it right now.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Alex, for letting us know about in terms of how DeFi developers could also build using Nimble's agent. And let's grow together. This is definitely really important. And I also like to shout out to Alec from ORA Protocol for joining the session today, because without you, we could not make this happen today. And this is a marvelous AI panel today. Thank you so much, gentlemen. I'm going to close our backstage and we'll see you around. Maybe Alex and Alec, both of you will meet each other at DevCon, right? Pretty soon in mid of November.
Yeah, we talked about it, but not, Alec won't make it. So
okay.
Yeah, next time for sure.
Next time.
Got it.
Thanks, everyone.
You.
Yeah, make sure to give us an Aura follow, and stay tuned for even more updates. It's gonna be packed. So yeah, thanks, Alec. Thanks for joining.
Thanks. See you guys.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.